Hi. So I wanted to do a quick video, or maybe not so quick, but I definitely wanted to reveal the best tip ever on learning and most of all, remembering the meanings of the tarot. So sometimes it can be very intimidating, and I want to kind of cut through all the intimidation of learning and remembering all the cards. The tarot cards, they want you to connect with them. They want you to get the meanings. Spirit wants to communicate with you through the cards. There's nothing to be intimidated about. You've lived the tarot. So it's almost in a language, symbolic language and meanings that you already know. So once you really interactively look at and use the cards, you're going to become one with them and they'll start speaking with you. It's kind of like an interactive exchange. And the very bottom line, which I literally is causing me to do this video, is to reveal the best way, the best tip to remember. You know, all these tarot cards. This is the tarot of A.E. Waite, so the deck that was originally published, and even this one. You know how all the tarot decks come with a little white book, and it will go into a brief description of the cards. I do have to say this booklet is a little more elaborate, and it will go into a description of the cards and come up with the keywords. But most of the tarot decks just come with keywords, brief descriptions, and everything else, which is fine. But you don't retain all that information. Some of the stuff, it's like, how do you personally bond with the cards? How do you personally remember and define these cards and become one with them? And I'm telling you, the secret right now is to literally know that you've lived the tarot and feel the card. And what I mean by the best tips are just those three words, is feel the card. And if you can go through each card in the deck, besides knowing the symbolic symbols on it, how many stars are in her crown, and what this symbolizes, and like things like that, just purely book intellectually knowing what the symbols are, or knowing the brief description or even the key words of what this means. Like most people know, a fool is the new beginning. But more than that, to go through the card and feel the card. Feel the card as if you are this person in this image. And because literally you've lived the tarot, so you are in the tarot, literally, and you have been in this journey many times over, and you've lived every card many times over in your life. So I literally was called to do this video because I kind of want to break through any kind of intimidation or anything that, drives people away from the tarot, or feeling it on such an interactive, genuine level. Besides knowing the little white book, besides knowing the keywords, besides knowing the symbols, it's great to remember some, keywords and things like that. But for example, if you look at each card, the Fool, if you are this Fool right now standing on the cliff, look at him, he's looking at the sky. I mean, you could just look at what this feels like. So that's what I mean by feel the card. Feel the card. He's walking. Does he look fearful? No. Like if you're in doubt of a card, it's like, does he look fearful? No, he's looking up to the sky. He has the sun shining on him. He looks like he's not even carrying heavy luggage. He has this little bag, but he has all he needs. And it's a new beginning full of, look at this, a rose usually means like innocence. You're taking on the new. You're going for it, and you're not afraid. So obviously a risk taker. He looks like he's on an adventure. He's full of life. He's almost jovial the way he's skipping down the street, and the sun is at his back. So it's like going in the card, feeling what it feels like. And he's not alone is what I'm getting. Whatever the symbolic meaning is, for you, you could pick out endless things of what this feels like in your life. And what's interesting is, yes, the Fool is the first card of the deck, but it's not just the first card, meaning it also appears after the Wheel. I mean, after the World. So you've experienced this many times over. When you've completed something, you finished a cycle, then you are going to be starting new again. Your desire to go on a new adventure again, and you have all you need here. And it's the feeling, you are this fool. And so it's interesting when it appears then, let me just pull a card out. Say if you got, like, let's take a minor arcana. You've lived this experience as well. The cups, remember, are your emotions. And here he has a whole bunch of cups here, but he's walking away. And the moon always symbolizes, obviously the moon, if you're in life and you're wandering, you're going to be going by the moonlight. You're going to be going, you don't really know. It's kind of like the unknown. It's kind of like another adventure that's not completely illuminated, but you're willing to walk away with things that you've invested in, that you filled your cup with. It could have been great joy. It could have been sadness. It could have been you're just dissatisfied. You're moving on. You're seeking other areas to fill your cups. You've lived this. What I'm trying to say is feel the card, feel the experience. He's willing to walk away from what he's known filled his cup, all these cups that he's invested in, and he's going into journeys unknown. There might be new mountains. He's traveling here on land. Feel what this feels like and things in your life that you've invested, but it's time to move on. It's time to seek other things. So now, if you have these two next to each other, obviously the full picture, or not obviously, but like whatever you're personally picking out, you've invested in all of this emotionally. You're seeking for further fulfillment. And if this card came out, it would be you're going for this new beginning now. This is pushing you to a new beginning, a new start. So it forms a whole story. And the key thing is to feel the card. So even if you didn't know, what does this gown mean? What literally is he holding in his little purse there? The symbolism of, anything. You could still get the meaning of the card. And more importantly, actually how Spirit personally wants to communicate with you. Remember, tarot is just a tool for you to reach your higher self, reach your spirit guides, reach your spirit itself, convey what your journey is, what's around you, what's coming up, what you feel, tapping into your spirit and communicating with you. And it's an interactive thing. So I assure you, Spirit's going to communicate with you how they can and on the level that you can get it and intuitively work with you so you get the meanings of the cards. So again, I wouldn't hold up too much. Yes, it's definitely little white books. Always look through them, learn the key words. Symbolism can always add to your readings and everything else. And you're constantly learning more and more with the tarot. I mean, for years, as you use them, you get more each time almost because you're interactively working with them. And you're also in a different place of your own journey when you use the cards, and you've experienced more. You have more to pull from the cards. But what I'm trying to pull through this reading is, this video is besides learning the keywords and the symbolism, the best thing to do is literally feel the cards. Go through the cards and feel it. The Magician. You are the magician when this happens, this major arcana. And look, he has a wand up to the heavens. He's got his finger pointing down to the ground, symbolizing, and he has all the tools here. He has the pentacles, the cups, the swords, the wands. There's growth here. The magician, he has the infinity symbol. You can know all that, but the feeling of this is he is powerful. He's magical. He has access with the wand, the powers of the heavens, and he's pointing to the ground, bringing it into the physical. He has all the tools laid out in front of him. He has everything in his toolbox here to use. He's linked to the heavens, to the spirit worlds. He's the magician. The growth of everything is lush and abundant around him. So it's feeling that. It's feeling that power, feeling the power of the magician, of linking between the spirit world and the physical and bringing it in and manifesting. Linking yourself to the powers, feeling that card, feeling moments in your life that you were the magician, that you were accessing all the powers in your toolbox, accessing the heavens, and you're connected to the spirit world, but bringing it into the physical, manifesting what you want here in front of you. Whatever you pull out of it, but feel the cards. Here's another great one. I love this card, the High Priestess, of course. Even without knowing the symbolism of the card, she's holding down the moon. She looks like she has the world almost in her, the globe, like the world in her head. She has access to all the intuition, the good and bad. she's standing at the pillars of the temple. She has access, but it almost looks like she's harnessed all the elements to me. And the high priestess, it's like everything that you've experienced where you yourself are so tapped in, where you feel so intuitive. Um, this is the sacred world, the sacred word, right? The Torah. Like she has all the knowledge, the secret knowledge. She holds in her hands, and she is harnessed. Look, the moon always symbolizes like the subconscious, what's hidden elements. You can pull whatever you want from these cards, and whatever you get from it is correct. Do you know what I mean? And it will build upon your readings. But definitely feel the card and remember times that you have this. You do yourself in right now have secret knowledge. You're very intuitive, and it's just feeling the cards. Say with the strength card, again with the infinity sign, you can know some symbolic things. With the flowers wrapped around the lion, and she's pushing his mouth shut. You can get all this, but most of all you could see is the lion fighting her. She's very calmly shutting his mouth. She's tamed the lion, and look how calm and serene she is in here, and peaceful almost. And so what's the meaning of the card? It's strength, but being peaceful through it. It's not a fighting strength. It's not a charging knight or anything. And so it's like this quiet knowing strength, right? And it's almost like a kindness strength. It's feeling the card, feeling the image of the card, and knowing also you've lived this too. You have a quiet strength about you. You can tame and control the lion, whether it's the lion and beast in you or the lion and beast in others. And she's facing the lion too. So, it's feeling this interaction. Look at the interaction of her with this lion and everything that you feel from this card. And what's really interesting is that, here, it's like here, you could tame the lion. You could have a newfound strength, and you're going on a new adventure. You've lived this many, 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 many times over. If this was even in a lineup, it's like you've invested wisely, but it's time to move on. You're not afraid, even though the moon is like lightly illuminating your path. You're willing to move on. Feel the card. Then she's with the lion closing his mouth, gaining the strength, the inner strength as you do this, to go on this new beginning. But what I always advise, besides knowing the keywords and the symbolism and anything else, and even though you've used the cards, maybe you're just starting out purely as a pure beginner, definitely pull, look at these little white books that come with your decks, and definitely, get the keywords and get as much symbolism as you can, because it's really interesting. But I do have to say that even these little white books, I'm always disappointed with the limited information that they give. Like, I wish there was a book that just reveals everything. But then again, even when you do have kind of very knowledgeable books, you don't retain all the information anyway. So again, going back to my key message of working with the tarot and remembering, learning, and most importantly, remembering the meanings as you're doing a reading, is to always feel the card. I always go back to that. Feel the card. Feel the card. Remember, you live the tarot. So knowing that, you picture yourself in the card, living the journey, and what that would mean, what that feels like. And that will definitely help you, whether you're really savvy or just starting out. You might know the basic meanings, you might have forgotten the meaning, you might have forgotten some of the symbolism in the card, but look at the card and just fall into the card and feel the card, and feel you are the person in the card. So no matter what it is, I always say go through the deck if you're just starting out, or you just want to try this exercise, but go through the cards and picture yourself as the Empress. What does that feel like to be the Empress, And the Emperor, look at him, so stoic and orderly. And picture the lovers, and most importantly, it's even more helpful when going to the pips you know, the Knight of Swords, charging forth. You know, feeling what that feels like, ready to do battle, ready to come in with the truth, ready to fight, ready to go into battle. You know, it's what this feels like when you know something's done. Um, you know, feeling the cards, not this is a 3 a.m. card when you're woken up, your anxiety, you know, what that really feels like. So when it shows up in reading, it's, you're going on a whole experience more than just trying to remember just a key word or a key, you know, get more, delve deeper, work interactively with the cards and delve deeper with feeling is the overall thing that I'm saying. What does it feel like? What does it feel like to be bound, to be blindfolded? What does it feel like? Look at this guy stealing these swords. You know, so it's actually feeling the cards, being this image, having someone actually, there are knives in your boat here, and you're traveling on waters. I mean, what does that feel like? And you're going to smoother waters, but look at what's happened. Look at this. Look what you're escaping. Look at how she's feeling in here, all shrouded over. It's like you just want to quickly escape and quickly go to land and get away from these swords. And you're not gonna, you know, what does this look like? Does he look happy after this battle? And this card, he kind of does, actually. But, here, obviously, resting, putting your swords down. He looked so peaceful. He's even folding his hands to pray. He's at peace, serenity. And so, you know, so feeling the cards, and no, everybody knows this, the heartbreak card, and it's literally a storm, clouds, rain, and knives piercing your heart, what that feels like. Where in your life have you felt this heartbreak? Um, you know, and all the causes that what each sword can do. You know, it could be different things that pierce your heart. It could be sadness, it could be regret, it could be, so you literally feel the cards and then feel what's coming up for you while looking at the cards. So feeling your way through the tarot is really being intimately connected to the fact that you live the tarot. This is you in the cards, you know, this is your experience in the cards. And then at the particular time that you're pulling the cards, it's like, what particular sword does that mean to you? What genuinely is rising up from you? What's your feeling? Is it sadness? Is it regret? Is it disappointment? Is it betrayal? Like what, you know? So, you know, here it's really feeling the cards. Look at this. It's coming from the heavens. Literally, a cloud in the heavens. You know, sometimes these little white books, it's like it will give you, oh, it's a new, you know, passion, a new idea, a new creative endeavor or something like that. But feel the card. Like, look, this hand is coming in from this cloud in the heavens. There's green down here. There's life on this wand. Like something's coming in. It's illuminated. You know, feel what the card is actually portraying, and feel it in your soul and your spirit. And the cards start talking to you in a much different way, in a much more intimate feeling way. You know what that feels like to have the almost like the hands of God come in with like a new, this looks like it's new growing life of a passionate idea, a new creative venture. And it's divine. I mean, it's a hand, illuminated hand coming from the sky. Can you, you know, feel what that feels like? So something told me this morning, I don't know why. I mean, I guess over the weekend I was looking at another little white book and I was like kind of disappointed. I kind of wanted to learn something new. You know, I always, you know, as much as even if you're using the tarot for years, you're always trying to get more out of the cards. So I was looking for more symbolic kind of meanings, or, you know, what's a secret, especially from Arthur Waite, you know, reading some of his own writings, trying to get more of the mystery behind what his intention was. And it was like, I felt like he didn't even reveal enough. Like, I wanted more. I wanted him to reveal every secret that he wanted to put into the cards. I wanted him to be 100% clear on every single thing. And I didn't find that. So I just wanted to kind of do a video to say, you know, the best tip for myself that I kind of got with Spirit along the way was to actually feel the cards, and then you'll get all the meanings, even all the hidden meanings. Because what's hidden? Hidden is tapping into your insides, your higher self, spirit guides, anything that's trying to communicate with you through the card spirit. And they're going to tap in however they can. Tarot is just a tool. You know, it doesn't have magical things that nothing else possesses here. It's just a communication tool. It's a tool that they can convey these messages and these meanings to you and communicate with you, and you can communicate. So to feel your way, that's how we do communicate, actually, even without cards. You're feeling spirit. Spirit sends you signs, symbols, and messages, and it's doing it in a way that you can understand on purpose because they want to communicate it. They want it to land somewhere. So if you approach tarot in that way, that it's not this big intimidation kind of, oh, I can never get all the symbols and symbolism. I assure you, even if you don't know all the symbols in the tarot cards, it will still speak to you because it will be communicated to you in a way that you can grasp on purpose. It's almost like, you know, whatever you get from the card, that's what's meant for you at the time. The tarot cards kind of grow with you. Even if you expand your knowledge, you'll get other things out of them. But I can't even put it into words, but spirit always communicates to you on the level that you're at. So, you know, feeling this card, you feel victorious. You feel you have a wreath. It's like honorable. He's like above everybody else. It looks like a parade, and it's of wands, of creativity. You know, feeling what that feels like with this wreath of success. And parading through the town practically, you know, with attention. And so, you know, here, obviously, standing up. He's on higher ground, but he's standing up. There's obviously, you know, so feel what that feels like and how that feels like, you know, when activity is coming at you and communication, what this feels like. You can feel this energetically. So I always say, feel the tarot. You're living the tarot. You know, so once you know the key messages, actually go through the cards and just feel what that feels like. Feel what each card feels like and how it's felt in your life. Like, what does it feel like with friends when you're toasting with 3 glasses in the air? It's celebratory, but it's the feeling. Like, tap into the feeling, because I tell you, it will really help with you tapping into the cards and then tapping into, when you're doing an actual spread, feeling the card from one card to another card. You're going to be tapping into the feeling of the card, and you're going to be bonding where you're in the card. You know what I mean? You're experiencing this feeling with them. You know what that feels like. You've lived it. And that's what the cards are trying to convey to you. So I just wanted to do this quick video to show, definitely feel your way through the cards. More than read all the little white books that, oh, geez, sorry. Oh, it's still going. Okay. Spirit wanted this to continue because I literally just rammed into the camera. Sorry about that. But definitely read all the little white books that you can and all the books that you can and grasp all the meanings. You know, even if it's been years that you've been doing the tarot, you can never learn enough. But I always say the best tip, especially for beginners, after you know the the key words, to remember it, feel the cards. Definitely feel the cards. Feel the meaning of the cards. Remember you live the tarot, and enjoy the journey, because working with tarot is just the best. I can't even put it into words how fabulous a tool it is to connect. But most of you know that already if you're watching this video. So again, we are living the tarot. Feel the cards. By feeling the cards, even if you forget at the moment in a reading what the card stands for, what it means, feel the cards. Picture yourself as that person, as that image, and what is the feeling of the card? And then what is the feeling in your life, you know? And what is the feeling relative to the reading? But definitely feel the cards, and I really feeling the cards is the way through the tarot, besides just remembering intellectually what the meanings are. Feel the images, feel the people in the cards, feel the symbolic, you know, what it means symbolically to you. So feel, because we're living the tarot, and this tarot is reflecting of our life. So do it with feeling. That's my tip for knowing and remembering tarot meanings. Okay, that was my little video. Take care, enjoy, and check out my channel for other meanings and readings and messages and tips. Take care. Bye-bye.